In 1965, a spacecraft was passing over the Sahara Desert. Two astronauts were sitting in it and looking at the ground in amazement. They had seen such a thing in the middle of the Sahara that it was very difficult to believe. These two astronauts were James McDavid and Edward White. They saw a huge human eye-like structure in the sandy desert. Surprisingly, there was a pupil in the middle of the desert. The length of this eye is 265 kilometers, and the width is 70 kilometers. Its total area is more than 18,500 square kilometers. That is 30 cities like Mumbai and 5 cities like Karachi can easily fit in it, while its pupil, which is in a perfect round shape, has a diameter of 40 kilometers. This huge, unique, and mysterious structure can only be seen from space, and it is known as the Eye of Sahara, or Rich D structure. Here you might be thinking that this is the mark of a very big asteroid impact, but in reality, it is not so. Scientists have not found any evidence of an asteroid impact till date. This is the reason that this structure has till date put the scientific community in deep dilemma. This unique and perfect round structure was built in the desert for thousands of miles. How did it happen? We don't know, but the map of the Atlantis city that has been lost in history, described by historians, is very similar to the Eye of Sahara. Not just one or two, but dozens of Atlantis. The maps tell us that it was a very advanced civilization whose cities were built in ring shape, and each ring was connected to each other through a bridge under which the seawater flowed. The shape of the Eye of Sahara and the Atlantis described have many similarities seen. As far as its location is concerned, years ago, a Greek historian Herodotus had made a map of the world of that time in which a city named Atlantis is mentioned in the map to the west of Africa. If this map is compared with today's world map, then the location of Atlantis matches exactly with Richard Structure's location, not only on this map, but 2,000 years ago. Roman geographer Pomponius Mela had also made a world map in which also a city named Atlantia is mentioned. The orientation of this map is towards the east, but if it is rotated and north is placed up, then here also it can be seen that in the northwest area of Sahara, he has shown Atlantia or Atlantis, where Atlanteans used to live once again. The location of Atlantis matches with today's rich structure or Eye of Sahara. If the Richard structure is seen from the ground, its rings are so big that no one would even guess that he is standing in the middle of them. Archaeologists have not found any evidence here, which proves that any human civilization lived here 12,000 years ago. But on the other hand, no other structure like Rich has been seen anywhere in the world, and that is why it remains a mystery for science. Apart from the rich structure, the Sahara Desert has hidden many more secrets in itself. African. When we hear the name Sahara, we think of scorching sun, never-ending sand dunes, and extreme heat. But the Sahara Desert looks as dry from the top as it has seen a green period in the history of the Earth. The total area of this desert is spread over 90 lakh square kilometers. That is, the Sahara is as big as the entire United States of America or the entire Europe. It is so big that a total of 11 countries share it among themselves, and it keeps on increasing. Every 100 years, the Sahara area is increasing at the rate of 10%. But why is it so, and why is it increasing so much? Sand. Where did this desert come from? The most fascinating view of this desert is the White Desert in Egypt, which gives the look of Arctic region during daytime. It has white sand and white limestone formation in the middle makes it seem. as if someone has made them in this special shape, but actually thousands of crores. Years ago, this place used to be the bottom of the ocean, 250 million years ago, when our world was ruled by dinosaurs. At that time, at this place, where Sahara is present, there was an ocean named Tethys. For crores of years, the weight of this ocean deposited a layer of limestone at its bottom. With the passage of time, when new continents were formed, 510. When the ocean disappeared, winds started hitting this frozen limestone layer for the first time. Due to wind erosion, the limestone particles spread out, and soon this turned into a white desert. Not only the white desert, but this is the story of the formation of sand of the entire Sahara. Where there was limestone, there a white desert was formed, and where there was sandstone, orange-colored sand was formed. Surprisingly, the Sahara Desert was not always like this. Scientists have found such evidence inside the sand that fossils of such plants and trees have been found, which prove the harsh conditions of the Sahara. This can't grow in the Sahara today. This means that the Sahara was not always like this. In fact, the map of this place was once very different from today's Sahara 2.6 million years ago. Our world was heading towards the last ice age. Everything started freezing. There was no difference left between land and oceans. Glaciers had started forming. Geologists say that this was the beginning of the fifth major ice age in the Earth's history. Our Earth goes into an ice age every few million years. This normally happens due to changes in the Earth's orbit, when Earth moves farther away from the Sun. In the last ice age, the areas of the equator, which included Africa, it also freezes, but it had become very cold, which is also called African humid periods. While the entire world was covered with a thick layer of ice, the Sahara was green and full of life. There were meadows for thousands of miles, and green grass was everywhere. Due to rains, there were lakes that flowed reverse here, which, if it existed today, would be called the world's largest lake. There were all kinds of animals here, which are found in a rainforest. Along with all these things, a large number of ancient humans also migrated here. Because compared to the rest of the world, the greenery of the Sahara supported life here. Agriculture could be done here. Animals, they could be reared, and the climate was also habitable like that is found in Europe today. This ice age, which lasted for about 25 lakh years, started ending 11,000 years ago. The average temperature of Earth gradually fell from minus 60 degrees Celsius. The thick layer of ice started to grow back slowly, and even above the oceans, the ice started to melt slowly. For the next few thousand years, the life conditions of Sahara remained intact. But then around 4000 BC, i.e. 6,000 years ago, nature decided to snatch back the greenery of Sahara. And since then, once again, Green Madonna started, and the sand present below once again came in contact with air started spreading green. A glimpse of the green Africa, which was there millions of years ago, can be seen today in the world's longest river, Nile. The 6,695-kilometer-long river starts in South Africa from Uganda and flows through the middle of Sahara and falls in the Mediterranean Sea near Egypt. When North Africa turned into a desert, the people living here, Antitites, they never knew that this was the reason that the ancient Egyptians started worshipping the Nile in their eyes. There was a sacred river whose source was not known to anyone, but even in modern times, many expeditions were conducted to find the origin of the Nile River. The entire Nile River passes through 11 countries during its journey, and it is only 200 meters shorter than the Amazon River. Now, because the African continent had pleasant weather during every ice age, means it was very hot here, or there were normal conditions, but Arctic conditions were never created here at any time in which it would not have been possible for humans to live. And that is why evidence of very ancient civilizations of humans have also been found in Africa, or then if it is said that humans originated from here, then it will not be wrong either. In November 1974, the oldest skeleton of a human has been found from Hadar in Ethiopia. This skeleton is complete at 40 years, which is astonishing. It is 3.2 million years old and 32 lakh years old. In many religions also, the area where the origin of humanity is said to be present is Africa of today, and scientific evidence also proves that the human species was first born in Africa. There is a place named Andi Plateau in Sahara Desert where a secret garden exists. This place is no less than a paradise for the local nomads in the midst of hot sands for thousands of years. This place is a stopover for the caravans traveling in the Sahara. Animals, especially camels, drink water here and there. Are also cool gorges for humans to rest in these gorges. In the gorges, ensiferum is still present when the Sahara was green inside the caves. Rock arts can be seen at many places, including cattle. This animal can be seen the most often found only in those places where grass is available for them to eat. There is no other animal here except camels. It is not possible to move around. Till 1940, there were African lions here, but now they too have disappeared. There are some crocodiles live near the water, but the question is that crocodiles cannot travel so big. So then where did they come from in the middle of the Sahara? Experts believe that this is a breed of African crocodile which is special. It did not come from anywhere, but it has been here for thousands of years. Today, only a few crocodiles live here, and these too are slowly disappearing. They are running out of food. These are frogs present in the water, and the ancients survive by eating fish. The secret of the unique and mysterious stone. This stone is hidden in the Sahara itself. It has kept researchers in puzzles for many years. This is a natural glass stone, which is not found anywhere in the whole world. For a long time it was believed that it is not a part of our planet, but has come from some other world. But then finally, its origin was also found in the middle of the Sahara. In the part of Sahara present in Libya, many such stones were found scattered among the sand. Experts believe that 30 million years ago, an asteroid impact had melted the sandstones here. At that time, the flow of rivers and streams was very common here. When the lava of sandstone fell on water, it cooled down immediately and became glass stone. Sahara's unlimited sand looks completely useless. Neither can this sand be used for making concrete mixture in construction, nor does it have any other productive use. But in reality, it is the sand of Sahara, which breathes inside the Amazon rainforest 4,000 kilometers away. Every year, millions of tons of sand is carried by air, flying across the ocean to South America. The phosphorus present in it is only 0.08, but experts believe that is enough to maintain the phosphorus level of the Amazon rainforest. Phosphorus is lost in the Amazon rainforest with rainwater. If this phosphorus does not fall in the Amazon rainforest, then there will be a shortage of phosphorus in the soil, and new plants and trees will stop growing. Now let us know a few amazing things about the Sahara Desert. The reality is that the Sahara Desert is usually described as the largest desert in the world. But in reality, it is the third largest desert in the world. The first two are Antarctica and Arctic deserts. It is true that Sahara is the world's largest hot desert, while Antarctica and Arctic are included in the cold deserts. The total area of Sahara is 90 lakh square kilometers, but its area keeps changing every season because sand either spreads or gets compacted in the entire Sahara. In every season, sand is spread only on 25% area. Rest areas are covered with rocky mountains. The height of sand dunes goes up to 180 meters, and the highest point of Sahara is Mount Kosi, which is 3,415 meters high. It is undoubtedly the hottest desert in the world, but at many places it also snows here, and temperature -6. Hopefully, it will drop to degrees Celsius. Thank you very much for your kind comments.